Right, what's up guys, welcome back to Matt Catches, and as you can see from behind me, I am back on my local fishing water, back on the fishing location. And if you're wondering, yeah, I've got my bag on because I've just ran down the peg because it's about 4 o'clock and it's going to go dark in the next 15 minutes. So I've got all my stuff behind me. I'm not going to keep you on this intro too long, but all my stuff behind me, I'm going to set that up pretty quick, get my rods casted out so we can get into that bite time, and yeah, hopefully we can have a fish. So I'm going to make my PVA bags up now and hopefully we can get a fish. So whack them rods in. Right, let's talk tactics. The tactics I'm using today, I'm using PVA bags. Inside them, I've got a little 3-inch long sort of Ronnie rig with a size 4 hook on, and I'm just using braid instead of a stiff boom, which would with a Ronnie rig. And for the hook bait, I've got these 15mm CM1 pop-ups, as it'll focus on them, and crushed up around the hook bait in the PVA bag is a good old trusty 15mm NAS citrus bait. It's done me absolutely amazing on this water so far, and I'm going to be adding in some mainline sticky mix essential sal goo into the PVA bags. It's a bit more of an attractor, just to make the bait extra sweet, just extra attractive in the water, and hopefully drawing a fish that we can catch. So because I'm in a rush, I'm going to whack these in now. Got both of them made up, and then I can get the rest of the stuff set up. I've just got my bed here, to be honest. Get the rest of the stuff set up, and yeah, hopefully we can have a couple of fish out tonight. Right, first rod, PVA bag, mainline goo. It's all ready to be casted in, so let's get that in. Second bag, ready to go in. Let's get that in now. Got the rods in, we're all set up out of the lake. Just got to set up my brolly behind me and we can get some tea on. But first, I just want to say, when I was on the car park unloading my stuff, it was one of the birds and it got bird flu, one of the Canadian geese. So I'm just putting a bit of a wear about it. I'll put a little bit of footage of the geese somewhere about here as I'm talking, if that works. But it was basically, it tried to stood up, it was stumbling around, it was falling over, and it just didn't look well. There was a sign saying to call, I think it was the RSPCA, and someone was on the phone to them. So it was all being sorted, but it's just won't make aware. If you see one, don't go up to it, try and touch it, just leave it, call the number. There's one on this billboard that I'm going to put up a little, it should be a little like square of it or something there, but basically explaining more detail what to do and how you can keep yourself safe and also help the birds that are ill. The most important thing is don't touch it, keep yourself safe. But tactics, fishing wise today, I'm fishing over in the bay where I was last time, because that did seem to work. We've got 2 mirror and 3 bream. So I've got one right hand rod, a bit more further over to the right, left hand's a bit more over to the left, but they're both really far over to that side. I'd say probably 80% of the distance from this bank to that bank, about 80% that way of the actual banks, would say probably about 15 to 17 wraps. It's not terribly far, it's a pretty short distance, but it's pretty deep there, surprisingly, because it's probably only 2, 3, 4 wraps off the bank. It still feels about 10 or 11 foot deep. You're still waiting a good few seconds to feel it hit the bottom, but you can feel with a nice donk when it hits the bottom, so you know you're fishing nice hard surface. That PVA bag's going to expand, dissolve, and your hook bait's going to be presented nice with a nice pile of bait around it. So I'm gonna get my brolly up because it's getting pretty cold because of the wind, and yeah, I'll be back with you when I've got some food on, I think, because I am starving. Right guys, as you can hear, it's absolutely blowing a gale. I think I've just had a fat twig land on top of my brolly. I haven't actually got the overwrap on yet, so I'm going to throw that on in a minute. But first, I've got some hot chocolate today, some this dairy milk hot chocolate stuff. 7 for 8 apiece, so I thought why not, we'll give it a try. Bit of boiling water in it, it's got a little bit of like chocolate powder on the bottom, so see what it is out of 10. I'd give that a 7. Considering it's just water, and all you got to do is just boil some water, put some water in it, rather than messing about with milk and that. That isn't actually too bad. I thought it was going to be dreadful. I've got my pot noodle, I'm going to have that eat. But I'm going to have to put the camera away because it's getting rained on, so I'll be back with you. Hopefully if it stops raining, but I need to throw my overwrap over me brolly first. Right guys, take a look at them. Steaming hot sausage butties with a bit of brown sauce on as always. Got the kettle boiling now so I can make myself some hot chocolate. And the wind is actually starting to pick up, surprisingly, because it's quite sheltered here. So yeah, I'm quite tucked in between the trees and it's starting to drive its way in. I think the wind is changing direction, but it's not brilliant. But I'm going to get these down me, warm up a bit, and it isn't actually massively cold. So it's a bit colder than it was last session, a bit warmer. It was a bit warmer last session, a bit colder now. So we've always got a chance for a fish because it's not freezing, because there's definitely a cold sessions on here and still caught. As you can see, I'm just sitting here, jacket on. I've got a coat and that behind me, tracker 3-piece suit. If it does get cold, because that is fantastic at keeping the cold out and keeping you warm. I've got my bed with me, Nash Indulgence, can't wait to get in that later, get a good night's sleep, rest up, ready for the morning. And yeah, hopefully at some point we can have some fish. To be honest, even a bream, it saves a blank, and for conditions like this, I wouldn't mind it. So yeah, I'm going to eat these before they go cold, and I'll be back with you when something interesting's happening. Right guys, as you can see, we've got the first bream of the night. Typical. It's a good sized bream, I'd say 3-4 pound maybe, but it screamed off when that CM1 pop up, so we're going to let this go and get recast, and hopefully the next one we have is a carp. So we're going to turn around Mr. Bream, and there we go, back off into the depths of the water. PVA bag's made up again. Let's get this casted in, and next time hopefully it's carp and not another stinking bream. But at least we're off the mark, we've had a fish in the net and we're not going home without a fish. But I'll get this in, and so hopefully we can bag ourselves a carp. Oh, I can't believe this. I just went to clip my bobbin on after casting my rod out. You can see there's one on there. Where's he gone? He's not there. He's just, it looks like he's just like almost snapped off or fell out. There was one on it a minute ago, so I don't know what's happened to it, and it's not floating in the water. It's not behind me, so unless it snapped off when I lifted my rod up, and when I cast it back, no, it wasn't, it was gone. I don't know where that could have gone, that's weird, but yeah, I think I might have to grab another bobbin. Oh god, that'll be another 10 quid. Right guys, I'm currently about to head off to bed. It's about 10:30 and it's been absolutely dead. I mean, we have one bream, so I mean, we haven't blanked, we're off the mark with a bream. It would be better if it was a carp, but we've had a bream, lost a bobbin in the process, so I'm going to have to get another one of them ordered. And yeah, I don't know how that's bobbins come off, it's a bit weird that, but it's one of them things, isn't it? I don't know how it's happened, but nothing I can do about it now unless it turns up somewhere in the morning when it's daylight and I'm packing up. So I'm hoping I can get up about 7 o'clock tomorrow in the morning, recast my rods. And if we don't have one in the night, hopefully we can catch a fish in the early hours in the morning. So that's the plan. It's gone pretty cold now, It's colder than it was last time, definitely, but it isn't freezing. So I'm going to hit the hay when it's nice and warm, get my bed, nice indulgence. Spot on the nice indulgences for the cold weather. It keeps you perfect, nice warm. Best night sleep I've had on the bank fishing. So I'm going to go sleep, and if I don't see you guys before, I'll see you in the morning. So yeah, see you in a bit. Morning guys, it's come about 8 o'clock. As you've probably just seen, I've recast my rods, made some PVA bags up, and I've got them in. Got myself a cup of tea, just warming up a bit, and I've recast my rods. I've kept the left hand rod in the same place as it was last night, in that bay over to the left. But the right hand rod I've casted, there's like in that bay, a bit further to the right, there's some bubbles which have come up. So it must be some fish feeding, so I've casted them smack bang on there. So hopefully the fish are still feeding there and we get one of them. But I'm going to get my breakfast on and have that warm up, because it was a very cold night. I don't know what temperature it went down to, but it was absolutely freezing, which didn't help the fishing, but National Indulgence kept me warm. So get my breakfast on, warm up a bit, and hopefully we can have a fish out. Right guys, unfortunately coming towards the end of the fishing session. Started packing up, I got my brolly down, I've left my rods in the water, just got my bed left up here for something to sit on. And it's been a nice session. We've had a bream, had a couple of bites, lost a bobbin somehow. I don't know how the hell that's happened, it's just one of them I think. So I've got a new bobbin ordered. And this morning, for the past couple of hours, it was absolutely, the top of the water was absolutely fizzing with bubbles coming up. So when I cast it in, I changed the spots to where the bubbles were, and I can see some bubbles coming up right now on where that rod is. But I don't see why we haven't had a bite. It was freezing last night. It went down to about, I think it was supposed to be 1 or 2 degrees, bearing in mind we had wind pushing, so it would make it even colder. So that could be, if that's going across the top of the water, it's going to cool the water down quite quickly, and just put them off the feed, because they'll just slow down a bit, try and keep warm. But that's probably why we didn't catch anything. Well, that's my excuse anyway. But yeah, it's been a good session. We've had an amazing sunrise. It was really nice this morning. Colours in the sky, and that was really nice. But as always, this is Matt Catches signing out, and I'll see you in the next video.